All right, hey everybody, I'm Ray. Welcome to A's Art Supply. I'm going to be doing a demo today on how to screen print using a stencil. So some of your supplies you're going to need, that everything pretty much we carry in store, but you need gloves because this gets kind of messy, and so you want to put on some sort of protection for your hands and your clothes, like a little apron. I have one on that I use personally, as you can tell. You also want paper. I'm using Strathmore paper right now. It's Bristol. You can find this in the store. It's 11 by 14. We have our Speedball squeegee. We also carry this in store. It's a size 10, I believe. We also need a 12 by 18 Speedball screen, 110 mesh. You need the mesh count to be kind of low because you want the screen to be open for the ink to pull through. So if you have a really bold image, like really heavy ink, you need the mesh count to be wide. So it's like 110 would be like, we're talking like dots per square inch. Okay, you also need, you can either use stencil paper or you can cut a stencil using Bristol board also, but I recommend something clear. I'm using Ruby Lift today. We also carry that in store. It's something new. I've never tried before, but I'm pretty sure it'll work. So we're about to find out. The last thing, or the last three things you're gonna need Speedball hinges. You can hook these hinges onto your a wooden table, plastic table. They come with screws. You're gonna drill them right into the table. You're gonna need screen printing ink. We also carry that by Speedball. We have fabric ink and we have ink for paper. The fabric ink will work on paper as well as garments or t-shirts or whatever you want to print it on. You need painter's tape. I'm using a green one today. And you need a palette knife. Okay. So like I said, once you have the stencil of your image, you can stencil your image out using an X-Acto knife, or what I used was a Cricut cutter. So I used Photoshop, and I designed my image in Photoshop, ran it through the Cricut cutter, and it printed it out perfectly for me. I'm really happy with this. And then you're gonna adhere the image to the screen. You just tape it down, kind of center it to your screen, tape around all the edges. You wanna tape up everything because you don't want excess ink to push through the screen while you're trying to just get the image. So you wanna block out all that ink first. You wanna block out all that ink and you wanna push it through just the parts that you want. All right, so we're gonna line up our screen into the hinges. And like I said, your hinges are gonna be hooked to the table. You see it right here. And then you're gonna lock the screen in. This allows us to lift and close our screen like a door. It's awesome. And you also want to mark where your paper is going to be. It'll be way easier so you can get a consistent print every time you print. So I already have my center point here lined up, and I just line my paper up here. And any excess you have, you can just cut off with an X-Acto knife or a paper cutter. All right. I think I'm gonna use some black on this one. I'm gonna open up our ink here. Again, see, I already got it. I already got some ink on my finger. So yeah, definitely want to wear gloves. I think see if I got a napkin around here somewhere. There we go. Mix up your ink just a little bit. And make sure no parts are thick. You want to kind of thin, consistent. And what you want to lay down a layer of ink that's the same width as your squeegee. So you get a nice, even, consistent print. All right, that should do it. Okay, what you're gonna do first is you're gonna flood your screen. So you're gonna angle your squeegee at a 45, and you're gonna do a light brush across your image. Not heavy. Make sure you're not like pushing down super hard, just enough to cover the image up. I'm gonna cover a little bit more on the sides here. You also, like how I did a second ago, you want to lift it up and lightly, just to make sure you don't push any ink through the screen you don't want just yet. Then again, you're gonna go to the top of your image at a 45 again, and you're gonna pull down. I'm gonna do two pulls just to see if I get a dark enough print. We're gonna sit this guy here. We're gonna lift it up and see what we got. Oh, it's a little stuck to the screen. It's okay. All right, see, it came out a little thin. So I'm gonna do a couple more pushes, kind of thin around the mouth area and the little lip and then the inside. But I mean, we're off to a good start. We're gonna try it again. It takes a couple of times. Like, don't get discouraged. It takes a few passes to get a consistent print. The more you print, the better it's gonna look. I know it sounds a little weird, but it's the truth. Like, if you keep printing, I mean, you may do like 40 or 50 prints, you'll get 10 or 15 good ones out of it. You'll get like a rhythm going. And once you get that rhythm going, it's just gonna be like boom, boom, boom. Gonna knock it out. I'm gonna add some more ink. Just a little bit more. You always have some on your squeegee, but I feel like you just need a little bit more on there. This time you don't have to flood it. Let me make sure to put paper under there. Okay. You won't have to flood it because there's ink already in the screen. Lift up, scoop that excess ink up. Do it one more time. All right, let's see what we got now. Also, you want to work kind of quick because it is water-based ink and you don't want the ink to dry in the screen. Oh, we overdid it a little bit there. We're gonna keep going. I'm gonna clean a little bit of the excess out from this side just to open up my screen just a little bit more. All right, let's see. And this is a little fun activity you can do with your family. Oh, that one was a little too thin. So on this guy, I only did 2 pushes. So it wasn't enough coverage to fill in all the dark area. Like on this one, I did 3, but it bled through a little bit, and that's what you don't want. You don't want the bleed through. So that means there's too much ink. There's too much ink going through the holes of the screen, and you don't want that at all. So you just want, like I say, it takes a minute to get the rhythm going. And you want a consistent print going, so once we get a groove going, we can knock out some really clean prints. I'm gonna try push on this guy. So you can reverse, you can do a couple of pushes and a pull. But what I'm doing is 1 pull and 2 pushes. Let's see if that helped me out. A little bit, got a little better. Still getting a little over on some of the edges. I'm gonna try those pushes, a few more pushes. This time I'm gonna flood it lightly. Make sure you cover the image, but make sure you're lifting the screen up off of the paper. You don't want it to touch just yet. And then we're gonna push. Okay, let's see what we got now. Oh, that's way better. It missed some areas, but I think I can get it on this next one. So in the print world, the clean prints or the prints that come out how you intended them to be considered your addition. So that's what we're working on right now. We're trying to get one for the addition. Fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what we got. Actually, I'm gonna put some more ink down. Again, if the pull isn't working and your image is not coming out as clear as you want, try pushing. Here we go. Oh, I didn't see. Come on. Oh, I think I got it. Let's see. That was 2 pushes. Oh, we're getting there. It's not as clear as I want it, but we're getting there. Also, this ink is air dry ink, so you can sit it out and leave it out for a little bit on a rack and a drying rack or whatever, and it'll dry up on its own. Or you can heat set it, so you can use a heat gun or you can use a blow dryer. It'll speed up the drying time. The drying time, like I would leave it for 24 hours. So for paper, definitely 24 hours. If you're printing on fabric, you want to heat set it with a heat gun. And that will probably take about 5-10 minutes. Or if you have a dryer for screen printing, that'll take like maybe a minute, 60 seconds or less, yeah, for the most part. Maybe even less. Now that I think about it, yeah. If you have a belt dryer, it's even less time than that. But for what we have in the store, yeah, you definitely heat gun, blow dryer, dry it for like a minute. All right, I just did one on that one. So I'm looking through the screen and it looks pretty good. That's victory, America. There we go. So yeah, I'd say after, what we got, like maybe like 15, I've got like 4 good ones. But that's okay. Again, yeah, that's all part of the process. Like you have to keep printing until like your arms and your muscles get used to doing it, because it is a manual process. So once you get in the groove, just keep going. So even if you've done 20 of them and you messed up all 20, crack open another piece of paper and do it again. Or flip the old ones over and print on those just to practice. So you want to keep doing it until you get a rhythm going, and then you can knock out solid prints. But yeah, definitely make sure you get some practice in. Like, don't worry. And it takes a little troubleshooting too. Sometimes, like I said, like I had some problems where the ink was like overflowing on the teeth and the eyes, and that's okay. You know, you just wipe the back of your screen off if that happens. A little bit of water, just rub it off, make sure it's dry, and then print again. Sometimes your screen will get clogged, like I think it's starting to clog up now. Again, take a little bit of water and napkin. You want to scrub a little bit on the front in the area that it's clogged in, then you scrub again on the back to unclog it, make sure you can see through it, and then screen again. I feel like this is my most successful print today. Thank you guys for tuning in for our demo here at Azles. We're at Azles at Cedar Springs. So if you have any questions, please give me a call here. My name is Ray, or any of us can answer any questions about any of your art supply needs. Thanks for tuning in.